Hi, welcome back to Ask a Pennsylvania Dutchman. My name is Chris LaRose, and this here is Douglas Maidenford, our resident. What are you playing with there, Doug?
Nothing. Nix.
He got me distracted. This
nervous.
is our resident Dutchman fiddling around with stuff on the table. I was all ready to go, and you had me distracted. Oh, his name's Doug Maidenford, by the way. The resident PA Dutchman. Wie bist du?
Ich bin all right.
All right.
I am all right.
Well, are you ready for a question?
Always.
What do we got? What do we got? We got one from Rick Bady.
Okay.
In West Virginia, but born and raised near Reading.
Okay.
Berks County.
So another Berks County boy.
Hey, too far from me.
That's right.
We are living. Oh, okay. It's gonna be a doozy, Doug.
A doozy.
Oh boy, it's gonna be fun. All right. We are living in a time of increased narcissism these days, driven by social media and manipulative politicians, in my opinion. It seems to me that the PA Dutch culture discourages big egos. Is this true? If so, what is it about the culture that works to discourage narcissism?
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
That's deep.
That is deep.
Well, let's answer the first part, where he says, what does he say about Pennsylvania Dutch culture discourages big egos? Is this true? I
think so.
Yes,
yeah.
I think so too as well. But we don't discourage it. We don't.
It's unspoken.
It is You're right. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know how you explain something that's unspoken. You just know.
I think as you're raised in the culture, you are raised knowing this, and how you've learned that, I guess, just from seeing how your parents and grandparents interact. You know, a lot of cultures, it's how you pass cultural things on.
I think it's a lot of what's not said is how you know.
Oh, sure. No,
yeah.
Right. But yes, I agree with Rick that I think as a general statement, the Pennsylvania Dutch culture does discourage big egos.
Well, it's the plainness of the whole culture, really.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know for a fact that if I talk about thinking about people in my family alone and talking about like watching how they react or what they don't say, like you said sometimes, if we encountered, and I'm thinking like as a kid, if we encountered or we knew somebody that was always bragging, or no matter what you did, they were better at it, or I know from just seeing how my grandparents reacted to those types of people or my parents reacted to those people, that was a trait that was not positively viewed.
I really think that I've never heard it outright spoken against. It's always been...
I'm going to come back to that. But I think I've been told as a kid, probably directly, you don't brag about that.
I've just seen the way people react. Like if somebody came in bragging about something, you'd see a bunch of Dutchmen just shaking their head and walking away, and there's nothing that sends a bigger message.
Or not engaging, right? Yeah, maybe. I think it is this so there's this unwritten rule aspect to it, but I think it's just part of our culture. But where that comes from, it could be the idea that, you know, we are a somewhat plain people, but we're not as plain as a lot of people make us out to be either. I think that's problematic. The Amish and the Mennonite, yes. But I think there's just this, I don't know, and it would be curious to see if you asked someone on the street in Germany, like the region where we come from, how do they view big egos and narcissism? And from the Germans that I know, from that region, from the Pfalz and from the Rhine River Valley, they tend to see it like we see it.
I really think, well, he kind of asked a two-part question, is what does the culture do that works to discourage narcissism? And I'll tell you what, I've seen it a lot, and I really think that, you know, almost every time I've seen somebody bragging about something or getting a big head about something, more often than not, I've seen old Dutch folks like shake their head and just walk away.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I think that's probably the way that you'd go about it, because there's nothing that says anything louder than silence.
Oh no,
And
right,
especially,
right.
you know, if these people got a big head, they're looking for attention.
Yeah, but the question, no, I agree with you.
And if they don't get it, they're gonna not do it.
I agree with you. However, the question really is, let's put our philosophical hats on for a minute. What is it about our culture that we react the way that we do to this? You know, we think about the Pennsylvania Dutch, like us, the non-Amish, non-Mennonite, and if we're gonna talk stereotypes, let's talk about the stereotypical Pennsylvania Dutch farm. It's clean. It's kept up. The grass is mowed. There's flowers. We paint fancy.
I got it.
We paint
I got it, Doug.
We paint fancy hex signs on our barns. We work hard to maintain that visual aspect. But then we don't go out and brag about it. You know what I mean? Like I think, and I've never really thought about this, but I have always been of the mentality, and this is, I guess this was instilled in me as a kid on up, that you work hard, you do the right thing, and you let your actions speak for you. You don't need to tell Billy or Chunny that, oh, I did this, I did that, I won this award, the people are saying this about me. You let your actions speak for you.
I think it
and that smacks in the face of everything that we live in this world right now.
I think there's also something else to it. So the PA Dutch are farming people.
Well, traditionally, yes.
You know, they're around animals and life and death and birth and all that stuff, around nature. And I think they know deep down, no matter what this person is bragging about, when they used the outhouse last, it was the smelliest.
Or it's the same thing, like, at the end of the day, that guy puts his pants on the same way that I do.
Yeah, right foot, then left.
Well, I mean,
and you don't mix it up.
We've had that discussion before. But I think, you know, maybe our...
Well, I think it's a religious thing, too.
I was just going to say, I think part of our faith practices and the traditional faith of the Pennsylvania Dutch, this idea of, you know,
humbleness,
Protestant Christianism. Yeah, I mean, maybe.
That's deep. Holy buckets.
But I agree with you. The knee-jerk reaction for somebody that's bragging or showing off is to dismiss them, to walk away.
Shaking your head saying, aye.
And I have to admit, and this is this is something that I've not struggled with, but with what we do, we meet people out at an event or something, and they want to say, oh, I love your channel, I love what you guys do, you make me laugh so much. It's great to hear those things, but at the same time, I feel a little guilty.
Because your head's growing?
Well, yeah, because it could.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I think it can get anybody.
I always go back to the fact that, I don't know whoever told me this, but somebody along the way said, look, no matter what happens in life, never get bigger than where you're from. And keep that as something you think of in the back of your, in the back pocket.
Well, now, how can we apply the PA Dutch lesson to the rest of the world?
I think there's a lot of people out there that could use some of this now. You think about the things that we as a culture right now value and how we express ourselves in our culture. Whether you're on social media or not, that is how a lot of people express who they are.
What, through narcissism?
It is. It's natural narcissism
well,
to a certain extent.
I don't even watch enough YouTube to know what the trends are these days.
Well, you do know, though. It is...
I see it out in the world.
Well, then how do you interpret what you're seeing in the world? You're seeing narcissism, aren't you?
I think so.
I think we're an extremely narcissistic society right now.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I think that probably goes along with materialism and wanting stuff.
I think another thing, this just made me think of, just as we were talking here right
Doug's
now.
thinking today. He's gotten going.
Let's rewind the time 150 years ago. It's the mid-1800s, okay? And we're living in Pennsylvania Dutch country. The idea of the individual, you could not survive.
You didn't really have
You
one.
couldn't survive.
You were a people who
You had to
belong to.
You had to be part of a community to survive.
Yeah, I think that's right.
You know, if you were, your farm was here, the neighbor's farm was down the road, the blacksmith was in the, over here.
You were known as families.
And you helped each other out. There was no room or place
for just one.
There really wasn't, though.
And nowadays, everybody wants to be so individual that they kind of ignore everybody else around them.
And I'm not here preaching that individualism is wrong, or that you shouldn't be proud of who you are, and that you shouldn't.
Well, wouldn't you have a better pride to be proud of being a people, like proud of being from bigger, longer, centuries-old roots than just being proud of, oh, I completed this task that month from now I won't care about?
If you talk to a lot of people, they'll say, the World War II generation, our grandparents' generation, was the greatest generation because they survived the Depression and World War II and et cetera, et cetera. But the one thing that I think, and I've talked about this a lot, that I learned from my 4 grandparents that were of that era is that you are part of a bigger thing than just you. You think about the war. The boys went off to war. The people that stayed worked together on the home front to survive and also to support the country and the war effort. The Depression. Your neighbor lost their house. You helped them, or you tried to. Because the expectation was if you needed help, they would probably help you too. And I think there are still people in our society that think that way. Thank God that there are. But that isn't what we see. Mm-hmm. That isn't what's thrown in our face.
I think a lot of people these days are kind of worried that their neighbor will throw them under the bus. So it's gone from expecting that they would help you and that you would help them to, worrying that they're going to, I don't know, do you wrong somehow.
Sadly, yes. There are a lot of people that think that way.
So I think here's how you fix it.
Okay. Oh my God.
Okay, I got the answer.
Fire away.
All right, we take a lesson from the old Dutchman.
Okay.
You see somebody who's a narcissist really doing some bragging ego stuff, you shake your head and you say, aye, 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 and you do it loud enough they hear you and you walk away. And when other people see you doing it, they'll go, aye, 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 aye. You give them one of these, aye, 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 aye. You walk away, they'll walk away. That narcissist will be left there, sitting there, wondering,
by themselves,
where's all the attention I was trying to get? And they won't get it. And they'll start feeling sad, and they'll think, oh boy, I need people. I need people. I need to do something that's actually nourishing for the people around me instead of making them jealous.
Myself too, because you do nourish yourself.
So they will go do a good deed and realize that feels better than the new car they bought. And then they might go help their neighbor. Maybe. Their neighbor will be like, oh man, I didn't know that this guy wasn't going to throw me under the bus here. They brought me a loaf of bread they made. How cool. Maybe I'll get their back next time. And then all of a sudden we're Americans again and voila, we're done.
It's that simple.
PA Dutch wisdom. Starts with an I, and then you go do a good deed.
Man, holy cow.
Holy cow, that's right.
No joke. No joke. People do that. If we can turn some things and soften some hard hearts in our society right now, we all win. We do. We all win.
But you can't underestimate the power of just not giving attention to people who don't deserve it. And my grandfather always said, the golden rule, do unto others as you have them do unto
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure that was a PA Dutchman that wrote that.
No, we can't claim that.
Oh, I guess not.
But we can continue to practice it, though.
Yeah.
Rick, did you have any idea what you were doing when you sent this in? You opened Pandora's box, but in a good way. And I think more people need to have those types of conversations, these types of conversations. Don't know about our Rick. Thank you so much. Got us both thinking about that.
Yeah. And you know what? I was thinking about the older generation of Dutchmen who weren't afraid to do stuff like that. I think a lot of people are afraid to even display displeasure with someone's actions. They'll kind of stand there and be polite and like let them do their thing.
Yeah.
But the old Dutchman, I don't have time for this. I got a field to plow. I'm out of here.
Or I don't want to hear this. I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
Blunt. I think that might be it. The PA Dutch are blunt people. When they don't like it, they'll tell you. When they do like it,
they'll maybe tell you.
They might tell you. But yeah, you gotta not be afraid to just say what you need, I think.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And we need likes and follows.
No, we don't. Hey,
we'll take them if you got
Put
them.
your comments in the sections down below. What do you think? Are we off base, or are we? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? And that's okay if you do.
Do you want more big philosophy videos like this?
Well, just ask a question like Rick just did.
Do you want jokes? Fart jokes and
because we can do
recipes
both.
about PA Dutch stuff, or do you want some big heavy hitters?
I'm not bragging, because that goes against what we just talked about. But we can do both. We can go from from one end of the spectrum and tell fart jokes, and then we can get into
and we can philosophize about
philosophical questions in regards to the future of society.
Yeah.
How about
so
that?
aren't we running for president soon?
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, I thought we were. I thought we were supposed to go this next time.
I think we said 2020, and now it's flying around again.
We better, get this thing moving.
I think we originally said 2016.
Oh, we better do this, Doug.
Yeah, we're not getting younger.
Yeah. Oh man.
We'll have to do a
Would you vote for us for president?
Oh, we know the answer. We need a campaign video.
Now, how would we do that? Do you think we could?
That's for time for a different video.
Okay.
We run long here.
Keep it in your mind here. We're gonna be doing it. We're running. We're running
for something, I'll tell you that.
Be ready.
Be ready. Sigh ready, Booba.
Sigh ready.
Be ready, Booba. Here we come. Oh my God. All right. Hey, Rick, thanks so much for that great question. Let us know in the comment section down below. And do no better, if you haven't subscribed and liked to this channel, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Schlock that bell so you get a notification every time we post one of these crazy videos so you don't miss them. And share the Pennsylvania Dutch love with your friends who don't know about what we're doing here on the channel. There. That's our plug.
I think you heard it from the Dutchman.
Oh, they heard it all right.
They heard it, and boy, did they hear it.
Yeah,
all right. Until next time, Mox Good.
If you have a question, you have to email us at busterpa@yahoo.com.